Let's go ahead and clap it up. All right. Oh, man. All right. Start off class. Shalom, Israel. With the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yana, Priest and Officer 5000, Kasar Bakat. It's a Thursday night scripture breakdown for ISUPK Northern California, ISUPK Sacramento. I'll read what we are in the ISUPK, what we're about. You can find us on the website, isupk.com. In ISUPK, we are educating Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians about their true heritage, which is comprised of the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Bible. Once our people begin to follow the laws in the Bible, God, or Yahweh in the Hebrew, will look down from heaven and have mercy on us. He will also send Christ to free us from our oppression. Using the Bible, the ISUPK will fix all the problems of the Black, Latino, and Native Indian communities, turning a lawless and immoral people into a law-abiding, righteous people. The true nationality of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians and West Indians of North, Central, and South America are the true descendants of the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. And Jesus Christ, or Yahweh Shai Mashiach in the Hebrew, is our King. All right. I like to start off class like that because when I came into the school, Officer Wanyala 5000 out of Texas, he would often start his classes that way as well, letting people know what the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge means. We're Israelites. Where do we get this from? We go into the Bible and we found out that there is a chosen people of God. And that has always been the case when it comes to the Bible or any book that has come as an offshoot of the Bible, like the Quran. People in Islam believe that the children of Israel are the chosen people of God, right? Now, the people that are currently living in Israel today are not Israelites. They're a group of people that converted to the religion of Judaism today, what they call Judaism, right? So, matter of fact, let me get Revelations chapter 2, verse 9. And it sounds, sounds very different to hear. Now, me growing up, I always heard that the people of the Bible were Black in some way, shape, or form. Like sometimes we joke about it and be like, yeah, they had to be Black in the Bible. Ooh, you know what I mean? But I remember my dad, he had a Bible that had, I think it's called like some type of African Bible, whatever, but it had pictures in it. And it shows you how important images are to your mind and your brain, especially for a child. And the pictures of it, they had Moses was like a Black man. They had pictures of, Daniel, and everyone in the Bible was Black, right? So that stuck with me, but I didn't know for sure. It was just a feeling I had. But then when I started to learn, do more research, started to find out, no, these people really are Black. The people that are over there in Israel today are not them, and they stole this identity. But matter of fact, before we go to that, hold that, or we'll come back to that. Let's go to your question. You did have a question. I skipped a little bit ahead, so
Yes, my question is on Matthew chapter 17 and verse 21.
All right. He said Matthew chapter 17 and verse 21. Let's go ahead and start up a little bit ahead. Look at the context. So Go to verse 19. Matter of fact, go up. Let's see. Start at verse 14.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 14, Slakia, chapter 17, verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
And when they were to come to the multitude, there came to him a certain man, kneeling down to him and saying, verse 15, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is a lunatic and sore vexed, for ofttimes he falleth into the fire and oft into the water. Verse 16.
Right, all right, hold on right there. So this person came to Yahushua and he's asking him for help to deal with his son. And what he's saying, his son is a lunatic and he's out of his mind. We see this a lot today, especially in the Bay Area. You go to San Francisco, you go to certain parts of Oakland, you're going to see people that are out of their mind. They're on drugs, they're possessed by demons. And a lot of the ways people get exposed to those demons is through drugs, getting high. So today, you kind of take the spookiness off of it when you say that person has a demon on them. You got to think real life. And the way we're living today, you see a lot of people with demons on them. You even look at interviews and you hear people talk about them smoking meth. They'll be like, yeah, it was all types of demons and things and visions they're seeing that are plaguing them. So they're scratching their skin and jumping in water. And that's why he said his man kept jumping in the fire because he had these demons on him. He was like what we would call somebody that would be on drugs or schizophrenic or has mental illness, right? All right, keep going.
Verse 16. And I brought him to thy disciples, and they could not cure him.
Right, so this is going to lead up to answering your question. He brought them to his disciples. He's like, I hear about what y'all do. Y'all go out and help people and cure people that have all these mental illnesses and have these demons on them, but they couldn't help him. Keep going.
Verse 17. Then Jesus answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? How long should I suffer you?
Right. So that's showing you the spirit of Jesus Christ too. It's not quite the Jesus that you learn about in your church that was so quiet and humble and meek and, oh, okay, where is he at? The Jesus in the Christian church acts like Michael Jackson. Like how Michael Jackson is and how he talks and dealing with the kids and soft-spoken. You damn near got to ask, what did you say? Say it with your chest. You know what I mean? Quiet. That's who they want you to believe Jesus was. And we all know the things that Michael Jackson was into, molesting children, whatever, etc. That's the image that they want you to have of Christ. But Christ was an austere man, strong brother. He like, man, what the hell is wrong with y'all? You know what I mean? You perverse nation. You people. Read it again, verse 17. You perverse
then
generation.
Jesus answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation.
Right.
How long shall I be with you?
Right. What was the issue that he was having with them?
Is it because they didn't understand how to cure the disease or the demon?
It's right there in front of you. What was the issue that he had? There you go. Brother. You understand? Not only they didn't have faith in what Yahushua was doing, they didn't have faith in the Most High. You understand? So there, he's questioning him kind of like somebody coming and questioning somebody that's a general in the school, like Commander Johanna. They're dealing with a young officer, young brother. He may not be that seasoned or, even a trooper. You know what I mean? He's not apt to teach right now. And they may have cut him because he didn't quite know. So they're like, oh, the whole UPK, they don't got the truth. I caught this person over here. He didn't quite understand or know this precept. Y'all all are liars. And that's kind of how they're coming at Christ. They're coming at Yahushua like, your men couldn't do this problem, so there's something wrong with you. He's like, man, you're a faithless generation. You don't really believe in the Most High. You don't believe in the works that I've been doing because everyone's heard about me. if it doesn't work for you, then it's nothing is true about what we're doing. That's how people are. It can be fine until something goes wrong with you and it doesn't work for you. Now it's an issue. You know what I mean? So keep going.
Bring him hither to me.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 18. And Jesus rebuked the devil,
Right.
and he departed out of him, and the child was cured from that very hour.
Right. Keep going.
Verse 19. Then came the disciples to Jesus apart.
Mm-hmm.
Then came the disciples to Jesus apart and said, why could not we cast him out?
Right. So after everyone left, they waited till they were with Christ alone. They asked him, like, Salakia, sir, why couldn't we handle this devil? Why couldn't we handle this demon? Because clearly they had done it before. They were able to help heal certain people. They were able to cast out certain demons. Keep going.
Verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
And Jesus said unto them, because of your unbelief.
Because of what?
Your unbelief.
Keep going.
For verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of a mustard seed,
mm-hmm.
ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder.
Mm-hmm.
Remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you.
Right. So Christ is saying you have the faith of a mustard seed. You'll hear this a lot in the Christian church because a mustard seed is a small seed, but when it grows into like a tree, and he's saying that your belief in the Most High is so powerful that if you 100% stand on it and believe in it, you can do anything with that. You don't need a lot. It just has to be for sure. If you have any doubt, any hesitance, then it's not going to work. And that's what was happening with them. They were not sure in what they were doing. And so they had some type of, what's the word called? Hesitation or anything like that. You know what I mean? Doubt. That's the word I'm looking for. Exactly. They had some type of doubt. No different than when Peter was walking on water with Christ. He was walking on the water and was actually doing the thing. But then when that doubt hit him, that's when he fell through. So that's kind of like you coming into the truth. You're seeing the work, you're seeing the reality, and then you get to a certain point in life, certain things test you. You lose your job. God forbid something happens to a close family member or someone that's young, you know what I mean? In your family, you start to doubt, is God really real, or is this the truth, or is this that? Because things didn't quite go your way. And that's what was happening with them. They were trying to do this act, and then when it wasn't going that way, they're like, oh man, maybe this doesn't work. They started to doubt themselves and doubt the Most High. But keep going. We're going to get to your question, Salakia.
Verse 21. Mm-hmm. Howbeit, this kind goeth not but by prayer and fasting.
Goeth not out.
Salakia. Howbeit, this kind goeth not out but by prayer and fasting.
Right. So what is your question?
Salakia. So was it saying that the disciples had to pray and fast, or was it saying that the child that he healed had to be in a position to pray and fast to have that type of demon casted out? Okay. I wasn't sure on who it was referring to. Right. Okay. Let me see if I can help you out here. I can break it down, but I want to try to help you out to be able to see when you're discerning, when you're reading it. So, okay. How did the demon leave? After Yahushua rebuked him.
Right. Okay. So now your question is, who had to pray and fast, right?
Come.
Okay. So how did the demon leave?
Yahushua is rebuking.
Okay. So who asked him the question?
His father.
His who?
The child's father.
No, who asked them this question? Why they couldn't?
It's like the disciples.
Right. Okay, so how did the demon leave?
Um,
I'm asking you the same question again, so you can see the answer. And I'm gonna break it down for you.
come.
How did the demon leave?
Through prayer and fasting.
By who?
Was it by Christ?
What do you mean?
Or was it the child? So like I said.
All right, that's it's okay. Who had time to pray and fast in this situation?
The disciples.
Lie. No, I'm saying, how did the demon leave? It's right there. How did he leave?
They were reeking
From who?
from Yahushua.
Okay, so who was praying and fasting?
The child?
When?
So like I said, I'm not sure.
Right. You see what I'm saying?
So like I said,
All right.
So like I said,
This is how General Hyman is going to, question you. All right. So the only person that could have the demon was cast out through Yahushua.
come.
So the only way the demon could be cast out was through who?
Yahushua.
And he had to do what?
So like they pray and fast.
Exactly.
Come.
So now who is he talking to?
The disciples.
Right, because in order for them, the question was, how come we couldn't do it? So in order for them to do it, they're going to have to pray and fast. You see what I'm saying? So then those type of questions, that's how General Hyman, he wants you to see it. So now when you're reading it, you can see it and see it. Now, it doesn't mean don't come to class, don't ask the question, but it'll help you what's it called? Like reading comprehension. You know what I'm saying? If you ask those questions to yourself, okay, it couldn't have been the person didn't have time to pray and fast. He just over here rolling in the fire. He going crazy. He on dope. He a dope head. Now he's acting normal. But Christ was able to cast out the demon because he had been doing what? He'd been praying and fasting. Matthew chapter 3. Go back to Matthew chapter 3. Or chapter 4. Matter of fact, 4 and 1. But yeah, I'm laughing at Kabata. He over here. He says, like I said, goddamn, Michael Jackson. He laughing in the comment. I be forgetting to read. Shalom, sis. Shalom. All the Akim Akwadian on here. Go ahead, read it.
Come. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 4, verse 1.
Matter of fact, go up to verse 16 of chapter 3. Good. Chapter 3, verse 16. So
this is the book of Matthew, chapter 3.
Should have said gone down, basically, technically. Yep. Go ahead.
Verse 16. And Jesus, when he was baptized, went up straight away out of the water. And lo, the heavens were opened unto him, and he saw the Spirit of God descending like a dove and lighting upon him. Verse 17.
Right.
And lo, a voice from heaven saying, this is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased.
Right. So we're in the beginning of Matthew, the beginning of the New Testament. You're hearing about Christ's pedigree in the beginning, and then you going in, and then this part is talking about when he first got baptized. And after that, he's going on into his mission to actually start to teach, because we know the Bible doesn't really cover everything Christ was doing when he was 10 years old, 11 years old, 12 years old. It picks up when he starts doing the work of the Lord, and before he's going to do this mission, you get into, after he got baptized, then you get Matthew chapter 4, verse 1. Go ahead.
Come. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 4, verse 1. Then was Jesus led up, Then was Jesus led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil.
To be what?
Tempted of the devil.
Right. So Christ, what do we say? Ecclesiastes is the 2nd chapter. When you come into the truth, prepare thyself for what? I'm asking though, you gotta pull it. I'm gonna tell you if you don't know it. But take a stab at it. Prepare thyself for what? Lie. For temptation. You understand? When you come into the truth, prepare yourself for temptation, because gold is tried in the furnace of adversity. Paraphrasing. That's what is going to happen. You're going to have to go through some struggle, some hard things in order to change your life, because the Lord can't say you're really believing in this unless you're tested. That's why they say also to try a friend. You can't just say I'm with you, I'm down with you, and then you not go through anything. Same thing with relationships. It's easy to say, like the movies, oh, I love you, it's all butterflies in the honeymoon stage. But then when things happen that are hard in life, are you able to ride it out, or are you going to fold? And that is enduring temptation, not necessarily always meaning like something to do something wrong, but something to tempt you to become weak, which would technically be wrong in essence too if you believe in the truth, right? So Christ had to be tempted as well, just like everyone else, because he had to be tested before he went out and did these great things, because it's going to be times when even Yahushua felt weak in not wanting to go through with certain things. And we know, dying on the cross, etc. But you know what I mean? Go ahead.
So question, was the fasting, because he fasted for this,
Mm-hmm.
was the fasting to make him weaker or to help him in resisting the temptations?
There we go. Let's keep reading. We're going to get to it. Yeah.
This is verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 2. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterwards and hungered. Verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread.
Right.
Verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out the mouth of God. Verse 5.
Right.
Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city and setteth him on a pinnacle of the temple. Verse 6. And saith unto him, if thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down, for it is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning thee.
Right.
And in their hands shall thou and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against the stone.
Right. So these are prophecies. I believe it's in Isaiah. It's talking about all these things that will happen to Christ, saying that the angels will protect him, that will hold on to him. So now Satan is coming and tempting him and asking him, like, you're really not him. Lord's not with you. Because if he was, you wouldn't be suffering. You wouldn't be in pain right now. You can go through this pain as long as you just give up. Like now, how you apply that to modern day? Like, all right, somebody used to sell drugs. Now they're about to get evicted. You have to get through this pain of losing your home. You're like, damn, Lord must not be with you. He said, you coming to the truth. Lord got you. Now you're losing your house. So go sell this dope right now. You won't lose your house. You won't go through the pain of being on the streets. Go ahead.
That's all. Yeah. So it's similar to the story of Job.
How you saying?
When his three friends came to him and said, there must be a reason, or you must have done something to gain the anger of the Lord.
No, I wouldn't say that. That's a little bit different. I would liken it more to his rib that was telling him to curse God and die. His friends were doing that too. They were telling him, nah, I'll leave it more to that way. Like someone that's trying to make you give up from following the Lord to make things easier on yourself. That's kind of like what that is. You know what I'm saying? All right. But we can keep going through this. All is heavy. But for time's sake, let's see. Let's just drop down to verse 8.
Verse 8. Again, the devil taketh him up unto the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them. Verse 9. And saith unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me.
Right.
Verse 10. Then saith Jesus unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 11.
Right.
Then the devil leaveth him, and behold, angels came and ministered unto him.
Right. So you said, now going back to your question, you said, was he made weak in order to? How did you say it? How did you word it?
So,
Okay.
So was he made? The fasting was it to put him in a lower state to make him like more susceptible to the tempting, or was it to help him in resisting the temptation?
Both. Because how? Okay. People that go to work out, like I don't know, you know about working out. So the Olympics, right? People that run track and field, things like that, they'll go to Denver, Colorado. You heard about that before? Why do they go there?
For sports medicine. So
no, to get in shape, to run. The runners, they go to Denver.
For the high elevation.
Right. Why?
Because it makes it a little bit more difficult for their lungs.
Mm-hmm.
It makes them work harder.
Right. And then what happens when they go to do the?
When they get back down, it's a lot easier for them.
Why?
Because their bodies have been accustomed to working at high altitude.
Right. You see what I'm saying? So that's the same concept. So Christ is going to a weaker state for 40 days of not eating to be tempted. That's something that might not have really bothered him in a stronger state. So you just came from Hometown Buffet. I don't even know if they have it anymore. You came from eating a buffet. Somebody come to you like, hey man, eat these pork ribs right now. You're like, man, hell nah. I'm like, yeah, I'm full. But now you haven't eaten 40 days. Somebody come to you like, hey man, I got these ribs. I got nothing else for you, but you want to eat these ribs? You see what I'm saying? And if you're able to resist in that state, then when you full, you'll never eat ribs. You see what I mean? So it's the same concept. Like you could quit smoking weed when you got a job, you got your kids, you got your wife, you making money, you got a new car, you happy, your endorphins up, you good. Now lose some of those things. Now, I'm not saying you or anyone, you know what I mean, directly, but God forbid somebody goes to a situation, their kid dies. Now that blunt is a little bit more tempting. You see what I mean? Because you're depressed, you're sad. You want to escape reality. It's harder to go through that. So that's Christ was taken to a lower state to get stronger so that now when things are harder, he can surpass it because he was able to build up his spirit in that way. You know what I mean? That's why he said he was led in the spirit. So going back to the original precept, he's telling his disciples they were able to do these certain things because they had enough strength naturally. And when they faced something that was a little bit harder, that child had a harder demon on them, they weren't able to overcome it because they hadn't done enough praying and fasting. And so now, in the truth, we apply it in this way. If you're dealing with something that's a demon that's plaguing you, then you should fast. You should try to fast to overcome that demon. If you can't stop smoking, you can't stop popping pills, or you can't stop whatever, you know, people have different demons, whatever, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If you start fasting, you made it through 3 days, you didn't have any food, only water. You made it through 2 days, or you didn't have any food or water. You made it through 5 days, all you had was water. You made it through 10 days, all you had, this guy on the internet, all he's eating is watermelon. You know what I mean? You can make it through those days, then you know if your body needs food, you're able to resist that with your mind and your spirit, then you can resist smoking cigarettes because you don't need cigarettes. And during those times when you're fasting, you can actually think that if someone offered you a sandwich right now or a cigarette, which one would you want? And your body is going to say, you know, I want that food. I could give a damn about cigarettes right now. So when you're done fasting, you can remember that you don't need the cigarette. It's just a demon on you. And you have to have the mindset and the spirit to fight it because you are strong enough to resist something your body actually does need. Your body actually needs food, but you're able to fight that. So you know you can fight something you don't need. But go ahead, you have your Rush.
Oh, no, live, sir.
Mhm.
I was just gonna say, so what you literally just said is like,
Mm-hmm.
if you're able to resist something that's a necessity, it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be a lot simpler to resist something that you really don't even need.
Damn right, damn right. And so that's what those disciples basically needed.
Okay.
They needed more strength into believing in the Most High and having more discipline and things like that.
Okay.
Because they had certain demons they needed to fight off themselves at that time. Yep. All right. Most High in Christ. All right, let's go ahead. We're gonna get back into it. What was it? Go to Revelations 2:9. And we're gonna jump around, but like I said, we'll go through a lot of milk precepts just to understand the foundation of what we teach in the ISUPK, why we say that we're Israelites, and what's the difference between us and what we've learned our whole life growing up in Christianity. All right. And the key point is that this book is a real book and it's a history book, but they have replaced the main characters with someone else. Just as mad as y'all hear about how mad Edomites, white people have gotten when they changed Little Mermaid to a black woman. You know what I mean? They are irate. They are trying to destroy Disney because they did that. That's how we should feel times 1,000 with this Bible. They got that mad about a fictional character, a mermaid. This is a real history book. There's a land of Israel right now. See, certain people in the world, you can have your own beliefs about the miracles of the Bible. I'll give that to somebody in the conscious community, pro-African, pro-whatever. You don't believe in the Bible, you don't believe in the miracles. That's fine. You don't believe Noah got on a boat, you don't believe Christ walked on water. That's cool. That's your opinion. I believe in it. You know what I mean? I have faith in the Bible. But let's say you don't believe in it. What you're not going to do is say there was never a nation of people that did believe in this. See the difference? Like the Cherokee. You can Google what the Cherokee believe in. What did the Aztecs? What did the East Indians believe in? East Indians believe in Shiva and Hindu and all this. Do you believe that is real? But are Indians real? Do you understand? Just because you don't believe in Buddha doesn't mean Chinese people don't exist. Just because you don't believe the God of the Cherokee existed doesn't mean the Cherokee people are not real. Everyone is entitled to their own belief system. You understand? The Israelites were a group of people and they believed in the God of the Bible. Now, you can be pro-African and have your dispute and say that this book is not real because you don't believe Moses split the Red Sea. But what you're not going to do is say that there weren't a million people that walked with him that believed this happened. You can't take away the history and the artifacts that there were people living in this land in Israel and had a nation of Israelites. They can't erase that. And that's why we say the Bible is a history book. And there's a lot of history in here that's not disputable. And so it's so evil that they have replaced the main characters with another group of people, which even more so proves that it's real, because how are they getting this land off of a fake book? That's what these pro-African people can never argue. These people that are atheists or whoever, they try to argue, and the Bible made up. It's 2,000 years old. What are you talking about? Why are you reading that book? You know, people that are conscious and they smoke weed and they new age and I'm spiritual. They always want to tell you the Bible is not real. But if you're just talking about miracles, then I can understand why you're saying that. That's fine. But you cannot say that there was not a nation of people, because there's literally a nation of people right now that have nuclear bombs and get billions of dollars every year based off of this book. So there has to be some validity to it, whether you want to agreeing to miracles or not. All right. But what I'm saying is that, and what we're teaching is that the people living there today stole the identity. All right, go ahead.
Oh, God. This is the book of Revelations, chapter 2, verse 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty,
Right.
but thou art rich.
Right. This is in the book of Revelation. He's talking to the children of Israel, saying he knows the things that we suffer in the ghetto, in the barrio, in the reservations. He knows our poverty and the things that we suffer. But what?
But thou art rich.
Right. We're still rich. We still have a great culture. We still have something that no other nation has. That's why all the other nations use us for their wealth. General Muhammad was saying that in class today. Like, America wouldn't be anything without the tribe of Issachar or the so-called Mexicans. We wouldn't have food, wouldn't have buildings, wouldn't have so many things that are the foundation of America if it wasn't for this one group of people. And he said the tribe of Judah, so-called Black Americans, like the culture, the music, entertainment, all those things are given to America from us. We are rich people. Go ahead. But we're poor. Right. Inventions from both sides, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. The Navajo language was used in World War II in order to defeat the Germans. They used that coded language because they knew the Germans didn't know how to speak the Navajo language. So they used our people in order to win World War II, the biggest war in human history. But they always use us to benefit themselves. We're poor underneath them. They treated the Navajo like trash, but they used them in order to profit themselves. So basically, we're poor, but we're rich. Keep going.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not.
Like, these people live over there and say that they were in slavery in Egypt for 400 years. Like, really look at Jewish people. They make jokes about Jewish people. Guy Howard Stern, that might be older for y'all young people. Seth Rogen, these actors, Adam Sandler. What's the other one guy? He makes a lot of movies. It's Seth Rogen and it's another Edomite that's right with him. The guy that played in Super. That's the one. You know, get a sister hand. John, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Super bad. He's famous. Like, they make jokes about themselves. Like, I'm weak. I'm not strong. I'm ugly. I can't do a push-up. I shouldn't be on the football field. I can't dribble. Like, they make jokes about themselves. Like, everyone knows these people are not efficient in doing cool things, doing things that niggas do. I'm going to say it like that. They can't dance. They can't do the things that Blacks and Latinos do. They know it. But they want to convince you about a book about some people that were out in the sun for 400 years in Egypt, that's them. When they can't go out to Great America for 2 hours without sunscreen. You know what I mean? Sunscreen. It's not adding up. You don't see Jewish people working on, you see, man, the tribe of Issachar, man, so-called Mexicans working on the roof in 100-degree weather. It's like 125 on that roof with the black boot, like, and they moving fast and getting it done, knocking it out. Like, there's no way Jonah Hill could do that work. It's impossible. It's nigh unto, he would literally die. It's true. He would die doing that. But he's supposed to be the person that's in this book. It doesn't add up. You know what I mean? So they're lying. Read it again from wherever you left off. You mean?
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews,
right,
and are not.
Keep going.
But are the synagogue of Satan.
So not only are they lying, but they're doing a lot of evil. There's no other group on earth that has conspiracies about them controlling everything and dominating everything and being rich and wealthy and powerful. Like, what are Black people known for being ghetto, loud, poor, welfare? Like, we're known for negative things. The things that Jewish people get mad if you accuse them of is of being rich and powerful. Oh my God, I can't believe You're accusing me of being rich and powerful and running everything. You're using, what's that word? That's a racist trope or something. Yeah, that too, anti-Semitic. And they always say this racist trope. That's a new thing. They say a lot. I mean, it's new for me. But like they say these are racist tropes. Whatever the hell that means, man. I'm gonna Google it real. Alexa, I forgot. What does the word trope mean?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, a trope is a commonplace, recognizable plot element, theme, or visual cue that conveys something in the
Alexa, what is a racist trope?
Here is an answer from an Alexa Answers contributor that I translated. A racial stereotype is an often false generalization about characteristics or behaviors attributed to a specific racial group.
Right, Alexa, stop. So they're saying we're attributing this. They attribute to us as not raising our children. They're saying they're getting attributed this racist comment that they're rich and powerful. Like that's what they are known for, and they try to hide it. But you know, they use their power to manipulate the music industry and make brothers or pay brothers a lot of money to rap about evil. They pay Hollywood to make movies that destroy our people. And so that's why he says it's the synagogue of Satan, because they're not only lying about their identity, but they're using that identity to push evil into the world, and specifically on the Lord's chosen people. Is there anything else on that verse? Okay, now let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 147 and verse 19. I won't hold y'all too long.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 147, verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob,
right,
his statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
Right. So God showed his word. He gave this Bible to Jacob. Jacob was the son who became known as Israel. This is where we get the 12 tribes of Israel. His name was changed from Jacob to Israel. So he's talking about the Israelites. He showed his words to the Israelites, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. Keep going.
Verse 20. He hath not dealt so with any nation.
With what?
With any nation.
God loves everyone.
With any nation.
We all can come to know the truth of God.
He hath not dealt so with any nation.
Right. This book, from the beginning to the end, was always understood as being directed towards one nation of people. It's about one family. But the world and Christianity has taken it and used it to open it up to everyone. And in doing that, it weakened the strength of it. So now the people in Israel today, they don't open up their religion to everyone. They don't open up their identity to everyone. They're still following the Old Testament in this way. Even today, they're almost starting a civil war in Israel because of the young people living there today want to change the nation to be more liberal, like America, and have LGBT movements and fly that flag and all that. But the people that are running the government are like, no, we're supposed to follow the Bible. We're a nation that got separated from all the other nations because when we moved to Germany, we moved to Poland, we moved here to Russia, we got persecuted. So we need our own land so that we can follow the Bible here. But now that's starting to fall apart. But go ahead.
So I don't want it's a little off the point, but I saw a video, I want to say probably it was Monday, I believe. It was Monday or Tuesday.
Right.
And it was this dude going around asking people in Israel what tribe they're from. And he was just like, well, where are the other tribes? Because everybody he asked is saying, oh, of Abraham. They weren't even saying Judah. He would actually allude to them saying, he would say, you mean the tribe of Judah? And they would agree with him saying the tribe of Judah. But then he would ask them, so where are the other 11 tribes?
Mhm.
And they had no answer for him at all. Like
Right.
they couldn't answer him on anything. But everybody that lives there is from the one tribe of Judah, apparently.
Exactly. Now get it in, man. Those aren't quite like, and that's showing the lies of these people, because the prophecies all said that the Lord was going to bring back the entire nation of Israel, the northern and southern kingdom, the 12 lost tribes, not just one tribe. So how are they fulfilling these prophecies when it's only one tribe there? It's because they're lying. And even with that, you would think with us saying that we are Israelites, they would be like, okay, maybe they are part of the 10 tribes. You know what I mean? Try to bring us back. Me and Officer Yawasop, he's in Arizona right now. We watched the documentary, and I felt played at the end. He was telling me from the jump, you gotta listen to the men above you. The documentary was like they're searching for the 10 lost tribes of Israel. And the people in Israel was going out looking. And they went to Africa, then they went to India, then they went to like Indonesia. And I'm telling them, like, maybe they might, show black people here in America, blacks and Latinos, like maybe they might show that. And we got from one part of the world to the next part of the world. And it's like an hour and a half long documentary, 2 hours. Get to the end. I start fast forwarding through. I don't even watch all that garbage. Got to the end, and no, they didn't say nothing about us. And like I had that feeling, even though I'm in the truth and I know, if like I said, y'all might be a little bit young. Have you seen the movie Boys in the Hood? Have you seen that movie? At the end of the movie, Doughboy was sitting on the porch and he talking to the brother, and he like, man, my brother got killed. And I saw the news and they didn't say nothing about it. And he's like, either they don't know, don't show, or don't care about what's going on in the hood. And it's like, that's kind of the feeling I have. I'm like, damn, everyone knows that there is a movement in America right now, fake Israelites or not, regardless. A few years ago, Vocab Malone, he comes up against ISUBK, comes up against Israelites. He was like, in his book, there's at least 100,000 Israelites in America, like 5 years ago. And he was saying that the reason why he's going so much against the Israelites is because it's a big movement happening in America right now. And if not stopped or curtailed or challenged or battled, in the next 10 years, there's going to be 1 million Israelites in America. Fake Israelites or not, we're in the truth. We don't, there are brothers, they're Israelites, but they're not in the truth. But however they want to look at it, that's a problem for the Christian church. That's a problem for America to have that many people, because nothing has done that before. Even the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam came, it sparked up quick. Malcolm X, they might have gotten to 50,000 members, 100,000 members, but then it just tapered off. It's not growing anymore like that. But Israelites started off slow, and it's somewhere around 2010, it's going up like this. Every day, every week, more and more blacks and Latinos are coming out and saying that we're Israelites. And you got Kanye West and Kyrie Irving and these celebrities now, DC Young Fly, people are coming out and saying this because it's always been in our spirit. Islam was cool. You wanted to fight the power. You want to go against the powers that be. You want to listen to Malcolm X. That's cool. But this resonates with us more. And it's because it's true. And that's why they said in John 8, was it 32? That the truth shall make you free. And so, long story short, what I'm saying is that they have more of an issue with us learning this because of how it's going right now, right? And so, Salakia. But let's go to the next precept. Let's go to Matthew chapter 1, verse 21. But this right now is something that is is definitely is what you would call a phenomenon. You know what I mean?
Con.
And you go into the Willie Lynch papers, and they said that we would not be able to reverse the effects of slavery unless a phenomenon happened, unless a miracle happened, basically. And that's why we saying that this truth is so powerful, and it's a miracle because these people were able to take a whole nation to themselves based off of what comes in here. So, but once again, I'm gonna go ahead and break down that a little bit while you get that next piece up. But long story short, in Psalms it was saying, "He have not dealt so with any other nation, and as is for judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord." These laws, these statutes, and commandments were given to us, and that's a blessing. Even though we've been through so much for breaking them, it's still a blessing to get punished by the Lord because that's showing that we're the chosen. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
It's akin to he chastises us because he loves us.
Damn right. Damn right. That's just like your parent. Your parent's not going to go and punish every child down the street. But you, from your house, you're going to discipline your children. And that's how the Lord looks at the children of Israel. We are the children of God or the sons of the Most High. Israel in Hebrew means sons of the power or sons of God, right? All right. Well, let's go to Matthew 1 and 21.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 21. And she shall bring forth a son,
Right.
and thou shalt call his name Jesus, for he shall save his people from their sins.
Right. And Jesus in the Hebrew is Yahawashi. And you go, the word Yahawashi means the deliverer. So thou shalt call his name. This is the angels talking to Mary and Joseph and letting them know that you're going to name this boy Yahawashi because he's going to deliver his people from their sins. So that was the mission of Jesus, come to planet Earth and help his people get free, not help everyone else. All right, go to Matthew chapter 10 and verse 5. Let's see what time we got, right? Go ahead, we got it. Slide, my fault.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 5. These 12 Jesus sent forth and commanded them, saying, Go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not.
So Christ, this is written in red. This is Jesus Christ talking. He's telling his disciples, don't go amongst these Asians, don't go amongst these Africans, don't go amongst any of these Gentiles, don't enter into their cities. Keep going.
Verse 6, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
So who?
The house of Israel.
One more from the top. I'm not from the top, but from the lost. Go to who?
But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
That's the important part, is lost. There's lost sheep. Everyone else on planet Earth has an identity, has a culture that's been passed down to them through the ages. You go to ask someone that's Chinese today, they have a name, Jingzhao, P, Li, or whatever. It fits them. It looks like them. You go ask the East Indian their name, Sanjay Gupta, and this and that. It looks like them. It fits them. You go ask the Samoan, their name is Falafel Lama. You understand me? That name, it fits them. Now you see this brother walking down the street and he's got this British name. You see a Latino walking down the street, they have a Spaniard's name. Our names don't match us. It doesn't fit us. It doesn't go with us. Like if you ask, if a Chinese person walked in here, Straight Chinese person, man, looking like Bruce Lee. He walking here and he tell you, my name is Jamal Hopkins. You be like, this nigga lying. This dude, keep an eye. I don't trust. Like, what are you talking about? Another one come in here. He like, yeah, my name is Juan. My name is Juan Rodriguez. But he talking like Asian. Like, you know what I mean? My name is Juan. Like, you're lying. That's not you. I can't trust, you know what I'm saying? Like, but they've done that to us and we think it's normal. It's like you a whole nigga, bro. Like you sitting here, your name is not John Smith. That's a white person's name. The brothers from Haiti, they got French people's names. You know what I mean? It's not normal. This is the lost sheep of the house of Israel. This is who Christ was talking about. Go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel that have been scattered to the four corners of the earth. All right. Keep going.
Verse 7. And as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
Keep going.
Verse 8. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. Freely ye have received, freely give.
Right. And there's another thing I like to challenge Christians on. When they come to you and they want to battle you, they're saying God loves all nations and it's not about race and all of that. Just ask them, what was Christ's mission? What was he sending them to do? He was going out to go heal the sick, right? He was going out to help the poor, right? He was going out to free those in prison, right? Well, who was the most sick, poor, and in prison? Blacks and Latinos. So even if you believe that Christ wanted you to help all races of people, if you really do his mission, you only gonna help niggas and Latinos anyway. Because those are the ones that really need it. You know what I mean? That's who you're gonna end up doing the work for anyway. So that's how you know these Christians are lying and they're not genuine, because they don't even help the people who, by definition, are the mission that Christ sent his people to go help. You know what I mean? Like, you don't even go, you would only be in the hood and the ghetto. Why would you be Joel Osteen in this big building in this nice neighborhood and you're never amongst blacks and Latinos in the ghetto? When they had the hurricane, Joel Osteen locked his church and said they couldn't come inside. How are you following Christ? You won't even let them dirty up your church, your $1 million church. You definitely not going down to the streets on a block and dealing with them on a day-to-day basis. You see what I mean? All right. So drop that. Let's go to Matthew chapter 15, verse 24. And then let's see. And it's interesting too, because they say, I had a video too, man. I should have reposted it on YouTube. I mean on Facebook. But it was a couple years ago. I watched some video with some Christians. They were talking, and they were talking about the Antichrist. And they were like, well, where is he going to come from? And he was like, well, I believe according to the precepts, two Edomites, they're going to come out of the European nations in America. Like, even they, in their mind, when they read the Bible, they say that Satan or the devil is going to come out of Europe. He's going to be a white man. Even they have to admit, like, they can't read the Bible and tell you that Satan is going to be East Indian or African or whatever. Like, all the prophecies and everything leads to show that the people that are going to do evil come from Europe, right? And so we know that by reading the Bible the same way they know that by reading the Bible. But keep going. Go ahead real quick, and I'm going to explain my next precept with that.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 24.
Right.
But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Right.
Verse 25. Then came she.
Okay, hold on real quick. So give the backstory of it. There was this woman of Canaan. She was Edomite, and she came and she was asking Christ to help her heal her daughter of a devil, right? Read verse 23. Read verse 22, Salak. Let's go from there. Go from there.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 15,
Mhm.
verse 22.
Mhm.
And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David.
Right,
My daughter is grievously vexed with the devil.
right.
Verse
So
20.
this woman right here was of another nation. She wasn't an Israelite. She's coming to him. She's hearing about what he does, and she's asking for help. And this is what happened. Read verse 23.
But he answered her not a word.
Like, once again, this is the spirit of the real Jesus. He's somebody that keep walking. Like, you can't visualize that happening. Like the way, who's some other famous pastor, like T.D. Jakes, he's walking down the street. It's like you will catch him. I'm gonna say even better, like celebrities. Who's some celebrities that people like or seem all nice, like Drake. Oh, Will, yeah, even Will, exactly. That's a good one too. Will Smith, he just so laughing and whatever. I forgot which comedian that was talking about how Will Smith with his fake laugh. I'm like, damn, I never noticed it until he said it. Marlon Wayans was talking about him. And now I go back, if you watch Will Smith, when he laughs, he does have a fake laugh. Like, it's just weird. Like, bro, you don't really laugh like that. You're putting extras on it. But anyway, yeah, somebody like Will Smith, who on TV, he's always nice, he's smiling, he's warm, he's welcoming. Now imagine you're walking down the streets and your car just broke down. And you see Will Smith walking by. You're like, hey, Will, hey, I need your help. And Will just keep walking. He hear you too. He look at you. It ain't like he didn't hear you. He look at you. He like, keep walking. Well, how would you feel about Will Smith if he did that to you? You got a flat tire on the side of the road. You know what I mean? Yeah. Go ahead. Speak freely. Go ahead.
Will Smith, go somewhere.
How would you feel about it? You can speak for a little bit. You know what I mean? There you go. Will Smith, an asshole. He a jerk. He don't give a fuck. This image that he have is not real. It's fake. You see what I'm saying? But that's how they paint Christ, like he's Will Smith. But in reality, he did have love and he was nice and caring about his people. But he wasn't like that with all people. Will Smith or whatever. Now, Christ is walking through, he sees a white woman that got a flat tire. It's supposed to be a man of God, just like it ain't Will Smith. We know how he get down. It's supposed to be like I said, you think of the Pope or T.D. Jakes or whoever they think that you view as being a righteous man of God, and you come to them like, hey, the Pope, I got a flat tire. He like, and keep walking. You be like, damn, what the fuck? What is he on? You know what I mean? But that's how he was to her. For what reason, though? So read verse 23.
Okay. Verse 23. But he answered her not a word. And his disciples came and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she crieth after us.
So not only that, but the entourage of Will Smith, like, man, get that bitch away from her. Like, send her away. She gonna keep yelling after us about her goddamn flat tire. Man, we don't give a damn about her flat tire. She need to move around. You understand? That's how they're acting. And go ahead.
Verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Now, this is something I never even saw till reading it right now. Go ahead.
Verse 25?
No. We on verse 24. This is something I never saw until reading it right now, or hearing you read it right now. Is interesting that, how can I ask this in a question to see if somebody can see it? I don't know if I'm gonna give it away. Christ, restart. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, it's like he doesn't even have time to let someone outside the nation know that he's only come for his people. He's like, I don't even got time to let you know that I'm not here for you.
But he ended up doing it. But why did he do it? This is my question. So you kind of lead it. Why did he do it? Why did he say that right here? It's in verse 23. Read verse 23 one more time.
But he answered her, verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
But he answered her not a word.
Right.
And his disciples came and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she crieth after us.
So why did he say this in 24? Based off of what just happened.
Is he letting the disciples know?
Nope. He's doing, I'm going to go ahead and get to you for time's sake. He's actually doing what they asked him.
Oh, come.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. I never really noticed and peeped that till right now. Like, they like, get rid of her. He like, all right, I wasn't going to say nothing. I was just going to ignore the broad. But since y'all want me to get rid of her, hey, white woman, I ain't even here to help you fix your goddamn tire. If anybody need a tire fixed, I'm going to fix a nigga tire. I'm gonna help a black woman's tire. I'm gonna help a Latino woman fix her tire. I am fixing your tire. That's what he's saying. Like, he wasn't even gonna say anything until they like send her away. He like, this will get her away. If I just tell her, you know what I mean, the truth. This is why I'm ignoring you. Leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? Now we can go into that more, how it gets and all that, and how he helped and blah, blah, blah. We can get into that. That's there. We got the breakdown. But for time's sake, we're just going to leave it on that. We're going to go to the next precept. Let's go to, let's see what I want. Let's go to the book of Acts chapter 5, verse 30. What?
This is the book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 30.
Mm-hmm.
The God of our fathers raised up Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
The God of our fathers raised up Jesus, whom ye slew and hanged on a tree.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 31. Him hath God exalted with his right hand to be a prince and a savior, for to give repentance to Israel.
To who?
To Israel.
All nations.
To Israel.
God loves everybody.
To Israel.
But my mama goes to church and she heard this.
To Israel.
Right. So this is who Christ came to give repentance to. This is the whole mission statement from the beginning. It said that the prophecy came. He's coming to save his people. Out of his own mouth, he said, I'm here for my people. I sent my disciples to go help my people. The Old Testament tells you that the statutes and judgments were only for my people. You seeing a common theme here. So is it really evil for us to believe that Christ was only worrying about his people? Or is it really more evil for you to tell everyone that Christ cared about everyone else, all people? That's the trickery that the oppressor does. They tell you things that sound nice to do evil on the back end. And the men of God tell you things that sound harsh to do good on the front end. Not on the back. You know, there's no tricks with it. It's just the hard, unadulterated truth. And that's why, like, going and watching certain, I'm not going to say that, but knowing the history, sometimes, you know, I might go and look at these movies they make about the Bible and see, okay, what did they get right? What did they get wrong? Obviously, we know they gonna have all these heathens playing this and stuff like that. But certain times, you know, with visual people, you see these stories, and one of them I had watched a while back was about Jeremiah. And it's like, okay, Jeremiah was hated in his time of being a prophet. And it wasn't like he was hated in captivity. He was hated before captivity. So it's like he was going amongst his own people And they like, nigga, get out of here with all that nonsense. We don't want to hear it. That's why the Bible says, y'all have killed my prophets that I have sent to you. I'm paraphrasing that one as well. I might find that one in a minute. But they were always fighting the prophets because the prophets were coming out and telling people things they didn't want to hear, telling them the hard realities of life. And they threw him in the dungeon. The kings and the leaders were trying to get him killed, because he was telling them they were sinning and that God was going to put them in a captivity and something bad was about to happen. But they didn't want to hear that because everything looked nice and fun. So what am I saying? Today, we follow the church because they say nice things. In fact, let's drop that. Give me, what's that? Jeremiah 30 and 10. Matter of fact, I didn't really realize that. I'm trying to go to the book of Jeremiah too. He's speaking of, is that what I want? Jeremiah, no, it's not 30. Jeremiah, or is that Isaiah? No, it might be Isaiah. Isaiah 30 and 10. Let me see real quick, guys. Yep. Yeah, it's Isaiah 30 and 10. Yeah.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 10, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us, right things.
Matter of fact, go to verse 9.
Like,
yeah, give a little bit of context on it.
Verse 9. That this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord.
Right. So it's easy to go listen to the pastor. He's not going to tell you to follow the laws of God. He's going to tell you can eat pork. He's going to tell you can be a LGBT member. He's going to tell you you don't have to stay with your husband. He's going to tell you that sex is not marriage. He's going to tell you there's no rules when it comes to a Christian church. You can smoke weed. You can do anything you want. All you got to do is come to church and pay tithes, and you are good with them. But when we come and tell people the truth, it's offensive. They don't want to hear the laws. They don't want to hear that we're separate from all nations. This is a rebellious people, a children that will not hear the law of the Lord. Verse 10.
Verse 10, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things.
Don't teach us the right things. Keep going.
Speak unto us smooth things.
You're going to have all the money that you have. All you have to do is make a tithe offering, and you will have everything heaped up, pressed down, and overflowing. That's how your cup is going to be. You're going to have all the prosperity as long as you have the faith in God. And then that's what they're telling you. Smooth things. Don't be unequally yoked with your man. The Lord's going to give you a new man. They tell you these things in the church because it sounds good. It sounds smooth. It makes you want to come back. Yeah, God loves everybody. We all fall short of the glory. You didn't just smoke the eight before you came into church. I know, because I've done it. So like it. You know what I mean? We roll up in the parking lot, smoke before we go in church. Pastor don't care. As long as you paying the tithes, put some money in the bucket, it doesn't matter. We all fall short of the glory. Don't worry about that, brother. I know you did that. I know you was in the strip club last week. Don't worry about that, brother. We all follow. He falls down, got to get back up and keep coming back here again. Like, they don't want you to change and stop doing wrong. They just want you to feel good about doing wrong, which makes you do more wrong, which makes you feel guilty, come back to church, get brought back up in spirit, pay him a little money for that, so you can go back out and do the same thing. They get you in a vicious cycle, like that movie. You ever seen New Jack City when he started to smoke crack again? Like, that's a low feeling. Like, he's sitting there fighting this demon. He don't want to smoke crack. Knees shaking. He about to hit and he throw it away. He go back and pick it up. Like, that's how the pastor wants you to feel. He don't want you to feel good and clear and sober off of drugs, walking around. Now he wants you to feel, damn, I can't stop. Ah, fuck it, I hit it. So I keep cursing. Yeah, man, I hit it. Now, when he got you at that point, you're going to need something to make you feel good about yourself because you can't stop getting high. So you go to church to feel better. And then when you leave, you do it again, you feel bad. So you need to go back to church. And they keep you in that cycle. They don't want to heal you. They want to keep you, like how they say with medicine, modern day medicine, a lot of times the medicine is not to heal you, it's to keep you buying it. That's how the church is. They don't want to heal you. They want to tell you smooth things. So read verse 10 again.
Come on. Verse 10, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things. Speak unto us smooth things. Prophesy deceits.
Right. Tell us lies. And that's how they were back then. So in the days of Isaiah and the days of Jeremiah, when men would come along and say these things, it doesn't sound smooth. It sounds rough. So they don't want to hear it. It sounds nice to say that God loves all nations of people. It's very smooth. It's very open. It's man, my best friend is Asian. I went to school, had a nice white teacher. I like this television show. My cousin is LGBT. Like, you want to say it sounds so good and loving, and it's just so great to be all inclusive, but your life is destroyed, your community is destroyed. That's not fixing the problems of what's going on. But the rough thing is to say, nah, this is wrong. Nah, they're not accepted. This is that. That's rough, but it actually fixes your problems. So which one do people want? You understand? So let's see. I'm not gonna hold too long. I know we started a little late, so we about 1 hour and 15 minutes so far. I'll do like 10 more minutes. We'll close it down. Let's go ahead. A few more precepts. Okay, yeah, that's what I was gonna go to. My next topic. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28:1. Because what I was saying was, and not next topic, going back to the next point I was making a few minutes ago about the Christians will identify America as being Babylon the Great, the daughter of Babylon. They read these prophecies in the Bible and they say, okay, there's a talk about in the book of Revelations, a nation of people that are going to be in rulership. Matter of fact, hold that. Go to Revelations 18. Go to that real quickly. We're probably going to close out on these last couple precepts. I'm going to show why we say these things. I'm going to get one more. Yeah. We start at verse 2. Read it when you got it. Yeah.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 18, verse 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen.
Right.
Is fallen and become the habitation of devils.
Right.
And the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
Right. So these are prophecies about the future. And they're saying that this is going to be a new Babylon. We already know Babylon had already fallen when John wrote this. He's talking about a different Babylon in the future. And this is going to be fallen. It's become the habitation of devils and every foul spirit and unclean bird, right? Read verse 3.
Verse 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
So that sounds like the Congo in Africa. Kind of lie. Does it sound like the Congo is a nation where everybody's got rich with Congo? Don't sound like Congo. Does it sound like Haiti? Does it sound like Guatemala? That doesn't sound like Guatemala. Every nation has not gotten rich with Guatemala. Every nation is not profited doing business with Guatemala. One nation on earth that everyone says is the greatest nation on earth, the richest nation, the most blessed nation, whatever, however, it's America. Everyone says that America is the number one nation, the most powerful military, the most wealth, everything says America. Go ahead.
That's what I was gonna say. Like America is the only country pretty much where we could be going to war with a country, and those people are still able to come over here and live a life.
Right.
Whereas there's no other country going to war with them.
Right.
You can have those people come over and stay in there. They'd be like, "No, you gotta go."
Right. Like we're not fighting to go to Vietnam and live, or after Vietnam War. We're not fighting to go to Afghanistan after that war, or Iraq. Like Americans leaving here to go live in Iraq. It's not that way. But you go destroy Iraq and they'll come over here and set up shop. That's a heavy point what you're saying. So it's like based off of what this Bible is saying, because you're not going to see the United States of America written in here. It's not going to spell it out for you. But based on reading this, it only could be one nation that it could be talking about today, right? So that's how the Bible works. Now we're going to go to Deuteronomy 28:1, because the same way you apply that logic to finding out who is who and what nation is what nation is the Bible explains to you who is who when you read it. So how do we know Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians are Israelites? It's because when we read the descriptions of the Israelites and what's going to happen to them in the Bible, there's only one group of people where this adds up to. See? So Deuteronomy 28:1.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently.
Matter of fact, so like go to 27:1 first. Oh, sweat. That's my fault.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 27, verse 1. And Moses, with the elders of Israel, commanded the people, saying, keep all the commandments which I command you this day.
All right, go down to 28:1. So Moses was talking to the children of Israel. He said, this is what you need to do. Keep these commandments.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Right. So this is what the prophecy that would happen to the children of Israel if we obey the commandments of God. They will be put up high above all nations on earth, right? All right. Drop down to verse 15.
Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Right. So this is the flip side. So this is helping you identify children of Israel. The people that don't listen to these commandments, they're going to have a lot of curses that are going to come upon them. Drop down to read verse 16.
Cursed, verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Right. So these people are going to be cursed in the city and the field. And so you even hear rappers, singers say that a lot in their songs. Man, I feel like I've been cursed since birth. I don't know what it is. It's something. I was listening to old 50 Cent song. He was like, in the song Many Men, he was like, psychic just said a broad and put a hex on me. Like he feel like he cursed. Something's going on. Something is following him. He can't escape it. And that's how it is. It's like in the movies when they say somebody did some voodoo on you and they did something with the little dog, and every something bad keep happening. Your cat got hit by a car, and you come home and your car break down. Then this happened, that happened. You're like, damn, what the hell is going on? Somebody put something on me, but we're not realizing that Black people, Latino people, Native Americans, we look at our communities being destroyed and our families being destroyed. Like, damn, why is my uncle like this? Why is my aunt like this? Why can't my cousins ever get along? Why is the community go outside and there's drugs and it's just destroyed? Like, what the hell is going on? Did somebody put a curse on us? And it is actually what happened, except it wasn't an evil person. It was the Lord that did it. He put this on us because we have to obey the right way to get the blessings. When you go the wrong way, these are the things that happen. So whether we in the city, in the country, doesn't matter. We'll be dealing with these situations. Drop down to verse 32.
Verse 32.
Mm-hmm.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people,
Mm-hmm.
and thine eyes shall look and will fail with longing for them all that slucketh.
Mm-hmm.
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand.
Right. There's so many different ways you can take this, from the days of slavery when they took children away and sold them off. I'm like, damn, man, I'm looking at my kids. I got 3 kids, man. My daughter's not even 4. They all under 4 years old, man. And I'm just thinking like, damn, she just went outside and got kidnapped. How could a strong person deal with that? How could someone just like, damn, man, my kid got kidnapped today. I'm supposed to just wake up tomorrow and just, I'm about to go to work. I'm supposed to live life like, you know what I mean? I don't know where my daughter is at, let alone every one of my children get kidnapped. That is a crazy thing to experience. And let alone today, they're talking about all these girls getting human trafficked and how horrible that is. And it's very horrible. Even the girl fake getting kidnapped a couple weeks ago, Carly Russell or something. Yeah. Weird, you know what I mean? But it's just like the thought of someone getting kidnapped in your family is just ridiculous. It is like something that would drive a strong person crazy. To think that you do that to a race of people, like it's just accepted. Like they put it in the movies. You just in slavery, they're like, yeah, they took my kids away. And then the woman, she's sitting there crying. It was a movie, 12 Years a Slave. She's sitting there crying. They're like, man, get over it. What do you keep crying for? Like, all of us got our kids to, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, go to work. We got to pick this cotton right now. What the hell's wrong with you? What are you crying for? Like, the fact that they had to become desensitized to something that is one of the worst things that could happen to a human being is showing you how big they did it. It's not like we have a fear because of the news that you might get kidnapped or your kid might get kidnapped. It's a different reality when you wake up and you go outside and everybody like, yeah, you should get used to getting your kids taken from you. It's going to happen one day. You about to have a kid, Doc? You about to have somebody you want to name after you? Yeah, they're going to get taken. Get used to that. Go ahead.
It's like something that's happening in Texas.
Yeah.
Like down south. It's just like families getting broken up and separated, and
Mm-hmm.
parents not being able to do anything about it.
Exactly, man. I would say I don't even want to get out of hand, because that is true, and that's what I'm going to the next point. The stuff that's going on the border right now, they're telling you to accept it and just normal, to lock kids up in cages, take them away from their parents. Kids that are still breastfeeding age, taken away from their parents. Kids coming up missing. A couple years ago, like 1,500 kids at the border just missing. And it's just, you got to accept it. That's not normal. That's a very evil way to live. And that's what's going on right here. Read verse 32 again.
Come. Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine
A
hand.
little white girl go missing, it's an Amber Alert. The whole world's got to stop. They went and sent the FBI and found one white girl in Mexico that got kidnapped last year. They brought her back home. World's going to stop for that. It's not acceptable for you to kidnap white women. It's not acceptable. That's one instance out of a million, 200 million people, 300 million people, 10 instances. They're going to stop and try to find you. They're saying, thy sons, a nation of people. We read it in the beginning, 27:1. He's talking to the children of Israel. All of y'all going to have to deal with this. Because this is a curse. And that's literally what we've been experiencing for 400, 500 years. Literally since the days of damn near Moses. You know what I mean? Since the Babylonian captivity, we've been going through this for years and years and years, man, where they've been selling our children off to other people and taking them away from us as a nation. All right. So that's how you know who this is talking about. Because it's never been known that Jewish people are getting kidnapped. Jewish people are getting sold. Jewish people are getting their children taken from them. They had the Holocaust. That even in that, they weren't selling their kids off and they were moving into one location. But I digress, man. We can go into that. That's a whole nother topic. But let's go to verse. Let's go to verse 48.
Verse 48.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee,
Mm-hmm.
in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he have destroyed thee.
Keep going.
49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far,
Mm-hmm.
from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Verse 50.
Mm-hmm.
A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young.
Right. So these are all the things that happen. You hear about the Native Americans and things they had to go through. A nation as swift as the eagle. America always talking about the eagle, the bald eagle, the eagle on the flag. The Romans had the eagle. When they went to the space, they said the eagle has landed. That America loves this eagle, and it's always been these same people. And that's another sign. It's like this nation is not going to care about the young or the old. They used to put the Trail of Tears, children, old people, kicking old ladies over, like things that the worst gangsters don't do today. Like even gangsters in the streets, there may be a few knuckleheads that just on drugs and do some weird random stuff, but real gangsters, they have some type of code and some type of morals. It's like women, children, old people, they're off limits. America, nah, it's not like that. Matter of fact, I just saw in Oakland a couple of, if not a week or two ago, some cats hopped out and robbed an 80-year-old man that was selling ice cream. Did y'all see that? You know what I'm saying? The whole community came and rallied behind it and bought all his ice cream out. People. Oh, go ahead.
I think they raised over 100,000 for him.
Damn. You know what I'm saying? And now that was the Lord, man. Get that for the brotherhood out here in Oakland. You know what I'm saying? Because them brothers did something evil that was out of pocket and that the community does not stand for. Like, they might see you over there selling drugs. The same people would have just drove by or whatever, man. Do what you're doing. But robbing this 80-year-old man, if them people that gave that money, them same people that gave that money, if they caught them dudes that did that, they would deal with them in a cold way. Because it was wrong for them to rob that 80-year-old man. Like, if they would have went and robbed a bank, $1 million bank, they wouldn't have gone to the bank and been like, oh, we need to help the bank. We need to give them something. We need to go fund me for the bank, because they know the bank got millions of dollars. The bank is evil. The bank is taking advantage of people. They're not mad at you for robbing a bank. Am I telling you to go rob a bank? What I'm saying is that even when we are wrong, we have some type of moral code and consciousness. We don't stand for you to harm women, elderly, and children. But the white man, he's not about that. He could give a damn how old you are. He could give a damn how young you are. He could damn if you're pregnant. He was coming to the Native Americans and dealing with them in such an evil way that it was like incomprehensible to even think about it. What movie? You know, I pulled from a lot of movies. I saw something, even in a movie, I was like, God damn. Oh, yeah, it was a movie with Jennifer Lopez. She had a new movie on Netflix. She was like a CIA. Yeah, Mother, right? Even in that, I'm like, God damn. She was sitting there pregnant. Dude walked in the room and he jammed the knife in her belly. I'm like, wow, that is crazy to watch in a movie. That's what the Spaniards were doing to the natives. They wrote it in their book, they documented it in their books. The bishops and the priests from the Catholic Church said the Spaniards were coming over here and cutting babies out of the women's womb and then tossing the baby up and seeing if they could cut it in half with one slice, throwing the babies to the dogs. And the priests saw this going on, and the cold part about it is they said the Spaniards were doing so much evil to the natives that they went back and asked the Pope and them to end using them as slaves and go and get us as slaves from Africa. So it is weird how they even work, but they're like, man, they need to stop dealing with them because they're doing so much evil over here. But then somehow they got twisted and said, we're going to go steal some niggas from Africa and bring them over here. But they were doing that stuff so savagely, so much on a regular basis that it's like the average person can't understand how you can be that evil. You know what I mean? But that's what they were doing to the old or the young. But that's that. Let's read Deuteronomy 28:68. I think I went a little bit longer than said. And then I got one more precept and then we out.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
So this is it's interesting that the last curse is such a big curse, and it's like there's no other nation of people on earth that you can even think about that went into captivity like this on ships. It's just like these signs, all these things added together, and you can go read all the rest of the curses in Deuteronomy 28. But it's just like how you found out, oh, this Babylon has to be America. Well, all this information here has to be Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. And people don't know that it wasn't Black people from Africa that went on slave ships first. They took the Native Americans here when Christopher Columbus came. He took 1,500 natives with him back to Spain on ships and put them into slavery in Europe. And they were bringing people from here to Europe and enslaving them. So that's a part of the history they don't tell you about as well. And then let's go to this Apocrypha, 2nd Ezra, chapter 13 and verse 40. Why do we say that Latinos are Israelites? Clearly, all those curses are the things that they're going through the same way we're going through every 2nd Ezra 13 and 40. Like, if you haven't been outside of the Bay Area, if you go anywhere and you go to the ghetto, I don't care if you're in Houston, LA, Chicago, New York, Miami, DC, Baltimore, name a hood in America, Phoenix, Arizona, I've been there. If you in the hood, it's going to be Black people and it's going to be Latino people. They're going to be living next to each other. I haven't been to a hood where it's just, oh, half of the hood is Black and the other half is white. Half of the hood is Black and the other half is Africans. Half of the hood is Latino and the other half is just Asians. Nah, You go to Harlem, it's blacks and Puerto Ricans. You go to Miami, it's Cubans and Haitians. You go to, you know what I'm saying? Like LA, it's Mexicans and niggas. The Bay, it's the same. We always been together because we're the children of Israel. The Bible says the children of Israel and Judah, the northern and southern kingdoms, have been oppressed together. Or I think it says Ephraim, but Salaki. Go ahead and read 2nd Ezra 13 and 40.
Come on. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 13, verse 40.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land.
Right. So there was a civil war in Israel. They had 12 tribes. 10 of them had separated. That's what we call the northern kingdom. And the so-called northern kingdom today are the tribes of the Latino nations from North, Central, and South America. So-called Mexicans, so-called Guatemalans, El Salvadorians, Colombians, and Cubans. Those are the 10 tribes, all the way down to Brazil, Venezuela, etc. These are the 10 tribes that were carried away prisoners because they were taken away into slavery first into Assyria. All right, keep going.
Out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanasar, the king of Assyria, led away captive. And he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land.
Right, so like I said, watch that documentary. They're looking for these 10 tribes today because in Israel, they don't know where these 10 tribes are. They say they're only one tribe, the tribe of Judah. But apparently, the majority of the Israelites was taken into slavery and carried away, 10 tribes. What happened to them? It tells you right here. Keep going to verse 41.
But they took counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwells.
Right, so this group of people, these 10 tribes said they came and had their own counsel. And they said, we're going to leave Assyria. We're going to get out of the captivity. We're going to escape. Same way they talk about the Underground Railroad, where black people in the South was trying to get to the North and get to Canada to get away from slavery. They said, we're going to get out of this slavery in Assyria and go to another land where no man dwelt. And that's why Christopher Columbus came to America and they called it what? The New World, right? Because no one else was living over here but the Native Americans. They had 2,000 years of just living here with no East Indians, no Africans, nobody else messing with them like that. They just came to a land where it was all for them. And that's documented in the Bible. Keep going.
Verse 43. And they entered into Euphrates.
No, verse 42. Yep.
Verse 42. That they might there keep their statutes which they never kept in their own land. Verse 43. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passage of the river. 44. For the Most High then shewed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over.
All right, so they got in the water, got on boats, and traveled to this other land. All right.
That's all I get, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So is it saying that the Lord like put a passageway over land for them to make it to the U.S.?
Just saying that he guided them. That you gotta think like the ocean it can get rocky out there. Boats can get. So he stilled the water so they can make this journey. Because when it depends on what type of boats they had. If they didn't have the best boats, naval boats that they had with the Nina and the Pinta and Santa Maria, they had to have a good passage on that water to survive and make it. And it's a lot of people moving. You know what I mean? So that's what that's saying. Right.
It's like it's the 44.
Where we at? Yeah. So I think you're 45 now.
Verse 45. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Arsareth.
Right. All right. And so that's where they took a year and a half on this journey, coming from the Middle East, riding through the waters to get to America, North America, South America, Central America. this is one of the things in the Bible why we say the Native Americans are Israelites. The people, when we say Latinos of Native American descent are Israelites. You know what I mean? There's Latinos that are Chinese. There's just like America. There's Americans that are every race under the sun. There's people that live through Latin America. You go to Argentina, there's a lot of people from Germany because they came over there from the Nazis after World War II. A lot of them are Edomites that live in Argentina. But the Latinos of Native American descent, if your grandfather was an Aztec, a Mayan, an Incan, Cherokee, whatever, you know what I mean? These are those 10 tribes. And when you go and learn about the Native Americans, it's a lot of history and records that they spoke Hebrew, that they had the 10 Commandments, that their culture was similar and kept a lot of the laws that we have in this Bible to this day. And even Christopher Columbus, when he came to America, he brought people that spoke Hebrew with him. You know what I mean? So all of that is why we say that we're the children of Israel. Those people there are not them, and that Christ didn't come to help everyone. He came to help these people because we've been lost and we've been cut off from our inheritance. All right. So I didn't go on too long. I held y'all way too long. Salakia. But that's it. I'll go ahead and close out the class. Let's give a salute to the brothers. Yahweh Shem Yashai Brakathum. And to the sisters, Yahweh Shamar Latham Bashem Yashai. All right. The water.